For the Poultry and Rabbit Show. Now, as we get going, we do not have an exhibitor spreadsheet, so we will just do our best to highlight the exhibitors that we happen to know.
I think we may be starting off with our Rabbit Open class, as we've got Emberly Comden in with her sister Ethlyn.
Could you take a picture? Find out. I have nothing. I do know who these people are and what the order of. So, yeah. So can you find the list and just take a picture of it? Kendra might have a list over there. But yeah, this is the open show because here's basically the sir.
And we've also got Miss Paisley Lucero with her own little bunny.
That's mine.
Also with a late entry is Hunter Lucero, who got himself a bunny.
All right, folks, as it turns out, I do have some of the information on the Rabbit Show. We'll have some commercial breeding and market classes here in a bit. Right now, this is our open class. Or maybe this is everybody. I don't genuinely know.
I'm fairly sure this is the open class.
This is the open class? All right. Well,
Can't
folks,
be positive.
we're back at it. This is always a lot of fun, you know, as we get to our poultry and our rabbit show here. We got the rabbits. A fun, smaller project for some of our competitors. All right. So, again, we appreciate everybody that's tuned in, that's watching our live streams, that's hopefully enjoying these broadcasts. We're enjoying bringing them to you. It's been a neat, fun, special thing to be a part of. This is our second year covering the Los Animas County Fair. Now, Saddle Rock Sports Network, if you're not familiar with who we are and what we do, we specialize in high school and junior high sports. We have student crews based in Branson, Kim, Honey, and this upcoming year, let's cross our fingers, we're looking to broadcast some.
Aubrey Salopich, Paisley Lucero, Hunter Lucero, and Bailey Bowman.
I didn't hear that, Brody. What was our call there?
So our exhibitors currently in the ring, we have Eleanor Comblin, Aubrey Salopich, Paisley Lucero, and Hunter Lucero. Although I think Hunter just switched out for maybe a younger brother. And I think we've got some turkeys making a whole lot of noise behind us.
Fantastic. I'm excited to see the first annual kickoff of our Turducken Classic.
Yes, sir. This should be fun. This is the first year we've had turkeys, ducks, and chickens all in the same poultry show.
And tell you what, if you come to the market sale tomorrow, buy a few of those animals, you could take home the makings of your very own turducken.
Oh boy, now isn't that just a blast?
That should be tempting to somebody out there having a little fun and wanting to jump into the turducken.
All right, the judges made her way around to all of our young competitors.
All right, our open show today, they all did very well. All of these kids enjoy their rabbits very much. It's very apparent by how they're interacting with them. They all look like they were very well cared for, and they all have pretty bright futures with their show rabbits. Thank you.
All right, good job to all of our open showmen.
If we could give our open class a big round of applause.
Brooklyn Winter handing out the ribbons to our open class showmen.
We'd like to start with the breeding rabbit class, senior commercial bucks over 6 months. If we could please get Ethelyn Comden into the arena.
Ethelyn Comden coming into the ring now with her breeding buck rabbit. I think we've got a few different breeding classes.
Oh, we have another entry here. Ladies and gents, let's see if this entry is on our
We also have Harper Bowen in this class.
spreadsheet. Oh, Harper Bowen. Ty Winner giving us the info there. Ethelyn and Harper both with some good-looking bucks.
You know, it's always fun in these 4-H rabbit programs. You get some families that really get into the breeding rabbits. It's and they always sell their rabbits every year, and you hear about just the sheer amount of bunnies they have to deal with. But it's a lot of fun.
It is a neat thing. I appreciate this judge, obviously really knowing what she's looking for. Look at that cute bunny. I zoom in on that. That bunny looks like he's enjoying this. That's fun. He's like, oh, thank you for letting me lay on my back. I don't do this normally. This is awesome. Why am I making bunny voices?
We're doing voiceover for the bunnies now.
Bunny voiceover only on the Saddle Rock Sports Network, folks. We just lost some viewers. I don't know.
At a certain point, we just forget that we're live.
Yeah, we're having fun. We're glad to be here at the show. Judge taking a look now at Ethelyn's bunny rabbit. Sorry, not a bunny rabbit. This is a commercial buck.
Oh, yes, there you go.
Let's use the proper terminology here, Brody.
Oh, naturally, or else you'll forever lose your bunny broadcasting license.
What do you know about bunnies? You want to talk about bunnies? You sure? We're looking to our right and left here at the broadcast booth, trying to bring in a commercial rabbit specialist. No, it's really interesting. When I left and headed off to college, my dad ended up going down the road of commercially raising rabbits for a couple of years. There was a gentleman that moved into the Branson community that was a kind of professional rabbit breeder. And so our family were commercial rabbit breeders for a couple of years. Now, this happened while I was in college. I wasn't, day-to-day involved with it, but it was fun to watch the family dive into a new adventure.
I feel like I yell into it, and then everyone's like, all right, so we have two senior bucks today. first place is going to go to the Silver Fox Buck. When looking at commercial rabbits, a lot of times what I'm looking for is just how well they can produce meat. That Silver Fox has a little bit more meat through his loin, so he's going to be a better meat production rabbit. The Holland Lop is, or I'm sorry, the Mini Lop is also very pretty over there. It looks like he is very well cared for and a wonderful pet, just not as good for meat production. But overall, very good. Very impressed with your 2 bucks here. Thank you.
You're gonna have to tell us who is doing.
And our senior commercial bucks over 6 months. Second place, Ethelyn Comden. First place, Harper Bowen. Give them a round of applause.
So you heard it right there. Harper Bowen comes in with the first place ribbon. Ethelyn Comden in second.
We will now be doing senior commercial does over 6 months. We can get Eleanor Comden, Elise Comden, and Caden Salapich.
So again, this is now our senior commercial bucks over 6 months.
I think this is senior commercial does.
Oh, this is senior commercial.
Is it does? Because whatever Mr. Winter said, I believe he said does.
Oh, does. Okay, yeah, here's our, looking on my spreadsheet properly, we have 3 entrants into this competition. Eleanor and Elise Comden and Caden Salapich. We just saw her showing several animals in the swine show.
You know, if I had to bet, I'd say that Caden's entrant in this competition slightly underweighs what she brought to the hog show.
Tell you what, if she brought a 230-pound rabbit to the show, I think we would all be running for the hills in terror at this.
Oh,
at
yeah.
a 230-pound rabbit. That'd be a scary thing, I think.
If we had a rabbit the size of an NFL offensive lineman, I think we'd all be in trouble. I tell you what, though, I'm not sure how often rabbits. I mean, I don't know how much meat you get off of a rabbit, but based on the way that she's holding that one, that's a very beefy-looking rabbit.
It looks a little like it's packing some meat there, bro.
Absolutely. And this is a breeding doe, so this one is probably mother to many little rabbits. Or very soon will be mother to many little rabbits. That was Caden Salapich's rabbit. Next up, we have
We'd
Eleanor
like to thank our
Comden.
junior superintendents, Addison Walter and Brooklyn Winter, for their help this morning. Thank you.
I think it's funny the change in demeanor that comes over a bunny when you flip it over on its back. They just kind of give up. And just, oh, we're here now. No more need to be
Not
rowdy.
exactly a natural position for the bunny rabbit, I'm willing to bet. So it probably either is very relaxed or it thinks it's just about to die and giving up the ghost. That'd be interesting to maybe chat with our judge and learn what that does or why.
Yeah. Because even though I've competed in chicken competitions, which was always right after the rabbit competitions, I still know very little about either of the criteria for judging bunnies or chickens.
Here's Elise Comden. Judge taking a look at Elise's doe. Let's see how Elise's bunny likes the flippity-doo-dah there. That's fascinating. Learn something new every time. Now, I don't believe, unless we've had this judge before, maybe we haven't, I don't remember seeing them flip the bunnies over.
I'm fairly sure I've seen them do the bunny flip before.
Okay.
But sometimes what fair typically does is you get one judge that does both rabbits and chickens. So sometimes you get a judge that's more specialized in one or the other. So sometimes you get chicken judges that just look at the rabbits and feel if they have any meat or not. But the people that know both stuff, it's actually really cool to see them go to work. Judge has seen all three. Now let's hear her verdict.
right, we have a very interesting collection of senior does here. All three of these rabbits have different purposes. So if you look at them, they all have different shapes and different furs. So we're going to start with the one on the far left, the Black Otter Rex over there. They have a specific Rex fur. This is what rabbit fur coats are made out of. That rabbit actually has a really good coat, especially considering that it's July and everyone is shedding. The one in the middle, the lion head cross, this is a smaller rabbit. They're usually not used for meat production. They do get a little wild, which is why. It's probably squirming up there, that and the heat and noise and everything. But overall, a very good rabbit, very good quality doe there. And then on the end here, we have a New Zealand cross, which is bred just for meat. Interestingly enough, I like all three of these. They're all very healthy. They are all worthy of a first place. But we can only choose one. So third place is going to be the Lionhead cross in the middle. Second place will be the New Zealand cross on the right side. And first place is going to be the Rex on the end, simply because when looking at a commercial breed, the Rex is both a meat production rabbit and a fur production rabbit. And it is a very good Rex.
There we go. First place in our senior doe competition goes to Elise Comden. Second place goes to Caden Salapich. Third place to Eleanor Comden. Now, it's interesting. I think that in this particular competition, you had each of these animals being judged on different criteria. So maybe in larger competitions where you have multiple of the same breed, you can really judge one based on quality against the other. And so I bet that's a little bit more nitpicky, and you get more into the fine details of each bunny.
Yeah, that'd be exactly how they would work it, Brody. Back in the day, many, many years ago, when we had lots of entrants, specifically in the cattle competition, there would be divisions by weight, and then the specific breeds would have their contest. So you'd have the Red Angus contest. So you could have the champion Red Angus. You could have the champion Hereford. In addition to there being the overall grand market, that was typically divided just by weight. So it was, yes, very much breed specific.
Mm.
All right, grand champion. Let's start our engines, Brody.
Oh, yes,
Get
sir.
the keys out. Let's rev up those RPMs. It's time for the grand drive of these bunny rabbits.
Mr. Brad, I think we need to lighten up here. I think we're taking ourselves far too seriously in this here rabbit judging competition.
Here we got Harper Bowen and Elise Comden here. I do appreciate the way this judge was able to say, hey, this breed of rabbit is for this purpose and should be judged accordingly. This breed of rabbit is judged for this is bred for this purpose and should be judged accordingly. It's not, so she's not comparing apples to oranges, but still trying to take a more holistic approach. So at these smaller competitions, these smaller contests, I'm sure the judges do have kind of a unique job to compare and judge between apples and oranges on a pretty regular basis.
Right. And that makes plenty of sense.
Has been donated by CD&K Septic Services. If you happen to be in the area, if you'd like to come down to the arena to present to the exhibit.
CD&K Septic Services. They're also one of the sponsors they've sponsored a lot of our broadcasts on the Saddle Rock Sports Network. That's Chris and Diana Moorfield.
Once again, last call.
Out of Trinidad, Colorado. If you need any kind of septic work done around your property or clean out, they are the people to call. A little free advertising for our friends, the Moorfields.
There you go. No problem with that.
Their son Milo is one of our key members of the Saddle Rock Sports Network during the sports season. One of our student broadcasters. All right, looks like our judge has made her decision. Let's hear what she has to say.
All right. So the two rabbits that we have up here for our champion drive are both very good rabbits. They are both very good meat production rabbits. Our grand champion is going to be the senior doe on the left, and our reserve champion will be the senior buck on the right.
So Elise Comden and her doe win grand champion, and Harper Bowen and her buck get reserve. Congratulations to both of these young ladies for bringing some excellent projects to the fair.
2024 Grand Champion Breeding Rabbits.
Very, very cool Grand
Reserve
Champion breeding. There's a
Harper Bowen. and
fun
Grand
buckle to
Champion
add to the
Elise
collection.
Comden. Please give him another round of applause. We'll be
All right,
starting
folks,
our
we're gonna take a
2024
minute.
Poultry show. If we could please have Calton Dalrick on deck.
They're going to bring in some birds as they will take the pictures. That gives us a great minute to hear from one of our sponsors, Andreatta Well Services.
Andreatta Well Service designs, builds, services, and repairs well and water systems throughout southern Colorado. We provide well drilling, well rehabilitation, water pump systems, agricultural irrigation pipelines, septic systems, road construction, and general excavation services. As fifth-generation Walsenburg small business owners, we pride ourselves on being an active part of the local community. Good luck to all the student athletes competing today.
Didn't lose them. Oh, and we're back a little bit behind baseball, folks. No worries. I think we're about to transition into our poultry competition.
This is young Mr. Dalrick with the first entrant of the day. This could be an open class. Now, that is a cute bird right there. Now bringing in the bird. No pen.
A little bit bold for the birds, but just one chicken, fairly easy to manage.
Little young Dalton Dalrick. I believe this is Dalton. I'm sorry, that's Dalton is the older brother, I believe. This is Kelton Dalrick in our open class today. Now, I wish I knew breeds better, Brody, but look at the cool crown on that bird right there.
Oh, yes, very, very cool.
As we're getting ready, I just want to shout out another one of our sponsors. He's actually our announcer here in the ring today. Representative and member of the community, Ty Winter. He is running for House District again, Colorado House District 47. He's a fighter for Southeast Colorado. We appreciate his campaign and his sponsorship and support of student-powered broadcasting. Another sponsor that is one of our newest sponsors is Trinidad Greenhouses and Floral. They got a wide selection of live plants to beautify your home, your property, your garden. They also offer corsages, a lot of vased bouquets and floral arrangements. So stop on by or find them on Facebook. They actually have a pretty thorough and exhaustive display of their offerings on Facebook. Thank you to Trinidad Greenhouses for your sponsorship of our coverage of the 2024 Los Animas County Fair. As we move on and get into our poultry classes, just looking at our spreadsheet of info, Brody, this poultry show has grown pretty significantly over the last several years. The last several years, we've seen ducks enter into the poultry competition. It used to be just chickens. This year, turkeys have made a comeback. 2 separate turkey entries.
Yes, sir. It's always fun to see the variety in these poultry competitions. Now, I remember several years ago, I think it might have been when I was showing steers or even before then, we had one other person do turkeys. I think it was Cameron Howell brought turkeys one year.
You are correct.
But that was a whole lot of fun. But that was the last time I remember seeing turkeys. I think it's cool that I think it's Blake Olguin and Tate Baker have brought their turkeys this year.
You know, and they're a fun project to just have in the barn. The toms will, you know, strut their stuff and show their tail feathers to anybody that walks by. So it's a neat, fun addition to the show barn. A little personality.
Oh, yeah.
In the turkey pens.
Absolutely.
Watch little Kelton Dahlrick here. He's really enjoying telling the judge all about his chicken. And that chicken's nice and relaxed. Dalton in command of the table there. As I glance behind us, I see all the chickens and ducks in their pens ready to take center stage. See, one of our entrants has a fan, battery-powered fan clipped on the side of the chicken pen. That is clever.
Oh, and Kelton Dahlrick finished up.
Congratulations to our young competitor. Kelton, look forward to seeing his future projects.
It was very competitive tonight. He did a wonderful job, and I look forward to seeing him in his bright future.
Right now, if we could have American Class 1 hand enter the arena, Eleanor Comden, Ethelyn Comden, and Dalton Delaware.
All right, looks like we got some more hens about to enter the arena here.
And if Elise Comden could please be getting ready under the all other standard breeds.
Looks like we got a little bit of confusion, as I think the Comden girls have not been removed from the show order, as they did not bring any chickens this year, as far as I know.
I believe that is true. They didn't quite work out.
We will not be having the all other standard breeds class. So on deck will be breeding ducks, Dalton Dalrick, William Doherty, and William Doherty.
It looks like we might be just moving forward to ducks. We
Well,
said
no.
on deck, so it looks.
We may have one pen of chickens. And Dalton Dahlrick may have.
I see him right there in the stand-in circle, ready to get it on.
Yes, sir.
That's what you say for chicken showmen, ready to get it on.
Yes, sir. That's the most standard and efficient definition of what these chicken
So we
showmen do.
recall Dalton Dalrick.
Get it on.
Here comes Dalton. The Dahlrick brothers doing a good job of bringing some good-looking chickens to the fair this year.
So this is our one entry into the chicken, or our one breeding chicken entry, I believe.
I believe so. So what do we call that? Easy buckle, baby, easy buckle.
Well, I'm not sure if they do
If the
it's just
breeding
chicken, but I believe
chickens
it's
get a
breeding
buckle?
poultry. So,
Oh, so
we'll
there
do the
might be
breeding
some-
duck competition in a few minutes,
Ah.
and then we'll compare against this hen right here.
Market ducks, market turkey. I don't know that here in the duck spreadsheet of knowledge that I have information on breeding ducks. I should know better since my son brought ducks.
Yeah, your son brought several pens of breeding ducks.
Exactly. Well, it'll be Dalton versus Will in the breeding competition, because I did find that section on the spreadsheet of knowledge here. Turns out, yes, Will Doherty has a pen of breeding, 2 pens of breeding ducks of a drake and a hen, as does Dalton Dahlrick with a pair here today. So it'll be Dalton versus Will vying for that duck crown.
The king of the quackers, as they say.
Yeah. How are you?
Good. Wanted to see if I could take 2 minutes out of your time
Sure.
to do a video interview.
Absolutely, you bet. So maybe after the chicken show?
About how long is that?
Well, they're starting the chickens and then they'll do the ducks, so this thing will last.
Here comes our results of this one-man breeding competition.
All right. Our one-lone chicken up here, she is a very healthy Delaware. I actually have raised this breed before, and I have a large soft spot for them. This hen looks very good. She's very well cared for, and she will be first place for us.
First place, Dalton Dahlrick. We can now get ducks into the arena. Dalton Dahlrick, William Gordon. The second pen by William Gordon was 1 drake and 1 gun.
Next up into the ring will be our breeding ducks with pens of 1 drake and 1 hen. 2 entries by Will Doherty, 1 entry by Dalton Dowrick. Will assisted by his brother Brock in this instance. You know, I really admire this judge that's in the ring right now. It's not super often that you see one judge that's adept in both rabbit and poultry judging. Most times you get judges that specialize in one or the other. But I think it's cool she's taking the time to examine all the birds, their desirable qualities, their wings, their beaks, whatever is going to transfer well through their genetics, because that's what these drakes and hens are really for, is for breeding purposes. Whatever's going to breed the most beautiful birds is really what she's looking for. I think it's interesting the way she's handling Mr. Dahlrick's duck, the fact that this duck's probably never been picked up and flipped upside down before, but very cool to see her methodology and see her going to work. Yes, very cool. And looks like Will Doherty's got his ducks sorted a little bit differently. He may have both his drakes in one pen and then both his hens in another. I'm not sure if that's how he's supposed to be doing it or if it's all going to work the same. He's given the judge the rundown on what he's decided to do.
All right, folks, I had to step away for just a moment. Got interviewed by David Steven of the World Journal. They are an advertising partner here on the Saddle Rock Sports Network, so we have them in our sponsorship rotation, and you'll see advertisements for our upcoming broadcasts on the World Journal. All right. And any updates on the show thus far, Brody?
Well, it's interesting. I really respect this judge and what she's doing, taking the time to examine each bird, looking at their wings, looking at their beaks, whatever their desirable qualities may be. And she's really taking her time and analyzing these birds. But yeah, I think so. These are breeding pairs, essentially. You got a drake and a hen in each cage. If you look at Mr. Dahlrick, who's got the pen on the right, he's got his drake and his hen in the same cage. I think Will might have sorted his a little bit differently. I'm not sure if he's got one hen and one drake in each pen, or if he's got both drakes in one side, both hens in the other. Nope, it's one per.
Yeah, he's got different breeds of ducks.
Right, that's what I sort of thought. I just don't know nothing about duck breeds, so.
What's also interesting for those of you watching at home that I've kind of learned just being around Will's ducks over the last couple of years, Will spends a lot of time down with his ducks in their duck pen. We have a run where they can get out and kind of play in a little bit of water. We have a makeshift handmade pond for them. It's kind of a nice little duck Shangri-La. But even regardless of the nice little accommodations, they don't tame down. Chickens will get used to you and kind of let you walk around and come up to you. The ducks, at least these ducks, and it's true the last couple of years for us at least, they're not a tame kind of animal. They don't like being around you. They'll run from you. And it's kind of interesting. This year, Will created and fashioned a duck chute for catching his ducks. So it kind of is a wide open area of fencing that funnels into an alleyway like you would for kind of working cattle. But he fashioned one for his ducks so he can kind of get them in there, get them penned in, and easily catch them without injuring their wings or other elements. So there's a lot more that goes into duck husbandry and poultry husbandry than one might think from the outside looking in.
I mean, I believe it.
All right, we have a very good class of duck pairs up here. These are all three of these pairs are very good. They're going to be very good breeding pairs. They all have strengths in their own ways, and they're a little bit different. The most mature would be these ones on the end just because they are older. The ones that have the best overall type are going to be the black ones in the middle. And the best color pattern is actually the Campbell khakis on the end, on the far left. So, first place is actually going to go to the pair of black ducks in the middle. Second place to the khaki Campbells on the right, and third place to the ones on the far left. And honestly, they could all very easily have gone first place.
And there you have it, folks. First place in this hen and drake competition goes to Will Doherty with his pair of black ducks in the middle. Second place goes to Dalton Dalrick, and third to Will Doherty.
You know, again, I really appreciate that the judge talked about how these are all just intrinsically different based on their breeds and how they were all very comparable. So, again, I really appreciate the time that she put in. Let's hear from one of our sponsors while we swap out our pins. SunCare Professional Solutions for residential, commercial, industrial, governmental, and agricultural companies located in Colorado and Kansas. We provide top-notch services at affordable prices. You'll get skilled, trained technicians, not kids' day laborers or unskilled spare-timers. We also offer total weed control for alleys, driveways, fence lines, and more, plus noxious weed control. Give us a call today at 719-680-2651 or visit CynMarLandCare.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, grab your keys, take off your park and brake, rev your engines. It's time for the Grand
Drive. Breeding Poultry Grand Drive. Coming up, we have Will Doherty and his hen and drake pair of ducks. He's got a pair of black Cayuga ducks, his hen and drake. Here comes Dalton Dalrick back in the ring.
And I believe the judge said that that was a Delaware bird.
Ah.
And there was a time where I knew slightly more breeds of chickens, but there's way more than they make you memorize in FFA. So.
Well, and you've had a couple years of college engineering under your belt, so as that information comes in, you know, other information has to make way.
That's very true, and I've forgotten almost everything I learned in meats and veterinary science judging, but it's all very fun.
You know, we talked about this on one of our other broadcasts, and it's really neat that so many young showmen go on and do livestock judging as a collegiate scholarship level competition and have careers and neat inroads into the agricultural industry through livestock judging. So although for many folks like yourself that, you know, livestock judging was and FFA judging was a competition, you learn lots of neat skills from it. There are some that really take those things as and inroads into future careers. It's kind of cool.
Absolutely, and I mean, I appreciate the knowledge that I gained in my time doing judging stuff. Just wasn't something that I saw myself carrying forward into a career, and it's cool information that I still have, but I don't practice it enough to have it actively in my brain.
We have a couple very good birds up here. The ducks show a lot of promise in the next couple of years. They are going to be very beautiful with that iridescent blue. They have very good body type, and they're going to be a great breeding pair. This hen over here, she is a dual-purpose bird, so the Delaware was actually developed in New England to be able to lay eggs up until they were old enough to butcher. And fun fact, Delawares were actually the market standard bird before the current market standard, which is a Plymouth Rock Cornish cross. So the cockerels and cocks of the Delaware get quite large, if any of you have them. Our reserve champion is going to go to the ducks, and our grand champion is going to go to the chicken.
All right. And there you have it, folks. Results of our breeding poultry competition. Grand champion goes to Dalton Dalrick and his Delaware chicken. Reserve champion goes to Will Doherty and his ducks.
Reserve champion, Will
We'll have our
Doherty,
pictures
and
taken right
champion,
now, so we probably have time to talk
Please give
about
them
one of
another
our
round of
sponsors.
applause.
Cummings Trucking is your one-stop shop for all your transportation needs. We specialize in livestock, hay, equipment, and general flatbed loads. We also work with several hay farms and can find you any kind of hay or feed you're looking for. Give Cam a call or text today at 719-680-7883.
We just thought of a fun marketing opportunity in the future, maybe for one of our trucking companies or someone in the transportation area, be our official Grand Drive sponsor. Maybe we'll develop a little fun on-screen graphics, some sound effects. And if that's you, you're watching, or you know somebody that would like to be that Grand Drive sponsor in next year's Los Animas County Fair, keep it in mind, because you'll see us soliciting sponsorships next summer for the 2025 Los Animas County Fair. Looks like we are getting ready now for our market poultry, our market chickens, pens of 3.
Yes, sir, and this is where you bring in your beefiest birds for the competition.
Now, as I look at this pen of 3, we have quite a few entrants here. We have 7 entrants on the spreadsheet info.
Now, is that list most up to date? Because the Comdens aren't showing any of their birds.
No, that was 7, not counting the Comdens.
Oh,
it would have
all
been
right.
10 entries had the Comdens been able to show their animals. You know, part of livestock showing is you just deal with natural disasters. They had a critter get into their chicken pen early in the season and obliterate their first set of market hens. They reordered some market hens, but they just weren't old enough to really compete. They were really kind of just fluffy chicks at this point, so they opted to not bring the second wave of chickens. But I know they're going to be bringing them out to the Doherty household, and we're going to butcher us some chickens to put in the freezer with the Comden girls. So it's not a complete and total loss. They'll still be yummy.
Yes, sir, that's always part of the process. And sorry, I zoned out for a second there.
All right, so it looks like we've got Brock Doherty, Brody Gonzalez,
And Graceland Thurston.
and Graceland Thurston. You know, again, I really like this judge. She is literally hands-on with every animal. You know, we've had poultry judges in the past that have done this. We've also had some that just kind of glance and take a look and declare their winner. I like that she is getting in with every bird, feeling the musculature and finish of each of these animals. Finish is more of a large animal term, but I think it still could apply here.
I mean, it absolutely still. I mean, I don't know if it absolutely still applies, because finish is mostly just the term of how much fat coverage an animal has over their body. So when you're dealing with like poultry, you can still have big, beefy, fatty birds, and once you get to like especially these birds that they're bred to grow big quick, they can get really, really fat. So I would say finish is still a term that applies to poultry.
Absolutely, and these are Cornish cross rocks, these jumbo birds, and it's fascinating. They will go from birth, hatching, to butcher time in 10 to 11 weeks, arguably 9, depending on how fast your birds grow. So talk about a quick lifespan. That's why they are the new standard in the poultry industry, because you can get to that finished product in just about 2 months.
Yeah, so they're super efficient to work with and to raise. And most of these birds, they get to the point where they're ready to butcher before they're ready to lay eggs. So these birds are bred primarily for their meat production.
Absolutely, your dual-purpose birds. You know, it'll be around 5 or 6 months before they're ready, before they begin producing eggs. Where these at 2 months are ready to be butchered. In fact, if you allow these to grow any longer than that 10 to 12 week range, they'll actually die of cardiac arrest. They are a terminal cross breed. They are not a fertile breed because they are a cross. And genetics just doesn't let it happen. But they are kind of the standard in market bird shows. An interesting kind of mix of birds here today. We've got some that are obviously a little bit older than others, a little bit on the bigger side. I would bet that Graceland Thurston's animals are just a little too big. Not too big, but they're bigger than everybody else's. They're just the right size for butcher. What made me giggle on my spreadsheet of information is there is a description field that kids can put with their entries, and sometimes entrance exhibitors will put in the name or nickname of their animal. Like Brock was very descriptive. He said pen of 3 males and pen of 3 females. A couple other entrants said white chickens. But Graceland, she has KFC listed as her description.
That's pretty fun.
I think that's pretty cool.
Well, what I think is also fun, when you get these big old birds, sometimes they're too big for, like, a crock pot when you go to try to cook them.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, these birds are not necessarily rotisseries. Now, Brock's on the far end. They're a little bit younger than I believe Brody's and Graceland's are. But, yeah, these big old birds, you kind of have to plan out how you want to use all that chicken.
Yeah, the first year we did this, one of the unique things about chickens is when you're done with your project, what you don't sell, you still have a bunch at home, you got to butcher them.
Yep.
You fill your freezer. And the freezers of your neighbors and your neighbor's neighbor sometimes.
Yeah, and you sometimes just give away chickens because you can't eat all that chicken.
Looks like we're going to have on our spreadsheet of info, we have some dual-purpose classes coming up. Let's see the judges' call on these broiler pens.
We have a lot of very good market chickens up here. Even from the stands, you guys are going to see some differences. So these ones down here on the far right, they are definitely older. They are ready to butcher, and they will be dinner next week. The ones on the far left, they're maybe a week to 2 weeks out from butcher. They are still ready. They would be ready to go pretty soon, but it's not as quick of a time that they need to be butchered. And when you're looking at them, you're going to see that size difference. As they get bigger, obviously these ones down here on the far right, they're not moving around as much because they're a lot heavier. It's harder for them to walk. All of these birds are actually really good. I think we have market turkeys, so you may see this here in a little bit. Sometimes as they get bigger and they don't move, they get a lot of fluid along their breast, and it's very jiggly as they walk. None of these birds have that, which is good. It is very close. First place is going to be on the far left, the Pennapolits. Second place is going to be the Pentacockerels next to them. Third place is this Pennapolits. Fourth place, fifth. Did you get that?
And there's our results of the Market Chicken Show. First and second place go to Brock Doherty. And fourth place goes to Graceland Thurston's Pen of Roosters.
Third place.
Oh, third. Did I say fourth place?
You did
sorry.
say fourth place. Lots of numbers.
Whoever's
lots of
handing out.
ribbons.
I was looking at the colors of the ribbons, and I was just getting lost. But then I believe third. Yes, third place goes to Graceland Thurston. Fourth place.
I think maybe we'll just have the judge hand those ribbons out. It's kind of confusing. Folks, it's one thing, when you got steers in the ring, you got hogs in the ring, sheep in the ring. These pens of chickens, other than, when you're up close to them, they're virtually identical.
That's very true.
We got the really big ones and the younger ones. This judge went with the younger ones. We really appreciate Brody and Graceland and Brock bringing in some great pens of broilers. We're going to hear from a word of our sponsors before we get ready for our next market class. I believe it'll be dual-purpose birds.
The high desert hunt in Colorado at the foot of the Spanish Peaks. Their specialty is one-on-one guided hunting adventures targeting your once-in-a-lifetime trophy animal. Originally known as Zelly's Hunting Club when it was founded in the 1930s, the modern-day High Desert Hunting Company also specializes in leasing and managing high-quality private ranches for big game trophy hunts, bringing in clients from all over the world and bringing money into Los Animas County. Give them a call today. Yeah, so some judges don't. Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, we're back on to, we're live, folks. A little bit of inside baseball. It is interesting wanting to know and guessing what a judge may or may not like as we're reflecting on this last class. This judge.
To come and support these kids. They work very hard. There's a lot of effort that goes
They
into
enjoyed
everyone thinks of the chicken. It's no big deal.
This particular judge liking the younger birds.
They're not selling in the auction. Go talk to them. See if you can buy their market birds. Get a couple dinners. These kids worked hard. They deserve to have their work pay off for them. Help them go to college or pay for their feed, whatever they're going to use that money for. And if they are selling in the auction, whenever that is, go and bid. Help them out. Help these kids.
Next thing we have up is our pens of dual-purpose birds. We've got Mason Riddle with his red-looking birds, and on the left side we have Dalton Dahlrick with, I believe those are Plymouth Rock, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and we also have coming in Mr. Jace Cannon, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
Market turkeys, could please be getting ready. Tate Baker, Blake O'Dean.
Mason Riddle right there in the middle, standing tall. He'll be a junior at Branson School, member of our football team, also a member of the Saddle Rock Sports broadcasting crew. Mason, about 4 other broadcasters this June, went to Dodge City, Kansas. We covered the Kansas-Colorado 6-man all-state game. It was a lot of fun. We were there for 4 days. Not just the game. We did a lot of player interviews, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, a lot of practice footage. It was a neat time. So, we are branching out and growing here on the Saddle Rock Sports Network. Let's get back to the show. Dalton Dahlrick, the judge, taking a look at his pen of dual-purpose hands. Yeah, if you are watching at home and you see this market class of dual-purpose birds, if they happen to sell these at the sale, you're welcome to come on Saturday and bid on these animals. If you actually like what you see and these exhibitors elect not to sell and keep them as their, as part of their flock at their home, that's cool too. That's one of the neat things about these dual-purpose birds. I didn't actually have it on air, but our judge did come on the microphone and made an interesting plea to the crowd, saying, hey, if they don't sell these broilers, if they choose not to, they got a bunch at home still, because you buy a bunch and only pick your best. You can help support them by saying, hey, I'll buy a chicken or 2 from you just for a dinner. It's not a large amount of money, maybe $10, $20 a bird. And I guarantee you're not going to find a fresher anything off the shelf at Safeway or Walmart. It's a neat way to support our kids in a kind of unofficial way. I mean, just i.e. not official through the market sale. And and if they choose to sell them, we were even discussing buying and increasing our flock at our home by picking up maybe some of these dual purpose birds at the sale on Saturday. So come on out. Sale starts at 6 o'clock. There is a buyer's dinner beforehand. If you are registered to be a buyer at the fair, sign up earlier in the afternoon. And as a pre-fair thank you, they treat you to a steak dinner. It's a pretty good deal. An excellent meal, and then the sale to follow.
Yes, sir. It's always a blast at the sale. And we will be broadcasting the live feed of the sale. I'm not sure if you already mentioned that, Mr. Brad, but here at the Saddle Rock Sports Network, we will be bringing that to you over the airwaves. Unfortunately, we do not have the capability to accept bids over our broadcast. So if you would like to come and bid on animals, you got to be there. Or make an arrangement with one of the buyers clubs that you would like to bid on an animal, or let the fair board know beforehand, and they can get that all worked out with you. But the sale really is one of the highlights of fair. It's a fantastic event.
It'll be Ryan and Penny Brown of 40 Auction Services running that auction Saturday night. They've been our auctioneers here at the fair for the last several years.
And they always do a fantastic job.
And they're based in Folsom, New Mexico. Also one of the sponsors of Saddle Rock Sports Network, sponsoring lots of our sports broadcasts throughout the year. One of the advantages of advertising and getting involved with the Saddle Rock Sports Network is you are advertising directly to a committed, dedicated community here in southeast Colorado, northern New Mexico, and beyond. So folks that are invested in kids sports, agricultural programs like 4-H, FFA, the county fair, that's who your message is getting out to. And, folks that support local and like to support local. So local businesses, this is a great advertising venue and way to get your word out there. All right, enough talking about Saddle Rock Sports. Our judge is ready to announce her picks in this dual purpose class.
All right. We have some very good-looking birds up here. There are two different breeds, I believe. I believe these are a Plymouth Rock or a Plymouth Rock cross. What's very interesting is that the ones in the middle are bred. They're crossbred to be a slow-grow broiler, so they will get quite large and lay eggs as well. The ones on the end, both ends, are designed to be dual purpose, so they're a little bit slower growing than the ones in the middle, but they're designed to mature over a couple of years and lay eggs in that time. So our first place is going to be the pin in the middle. They are overall very well developed. They are going to be good meat birds, and they will be laying eggs. They're actually, it feels like they're getting closer to laying eggs just by measuring them. They're pretty, all three of them are pretty uniform. Second place is going to be the Barred Rocks on the end. They're a little bit younger. They are going to grow into themselves. They have a good frame. They will get a lot of meat. They're just going to be a little bit longer before they are ready to butcher. And then here on the end, we do have a pin, which I had to clarify. We have a boy in here. Boys don't lay eggs, unfortunately. So having a uniform pen is part of this as well. But judging on egg production, if you were to keep track of how many eggs each of these pins lays in the next year, this one is already going to be at a disadvantage because it has one boy, so only 2 of the 3 are going to lay eggs. So but overall, very good job.
All right, so your placings in that class, you're going to have Mason Riddle and his pen of 3 coming in first, followed by Dalton Dahlrick in second place, Jace Cannon coming in third. Appreciate all these 3 young men bringing some good-looking birds. All right, in just a second, we're going to have our turkeys. Before we get to that, let's hear from our friends right down the road at Woody's Furniture.
Woody's Furniture invites you to stop by one of their 2 convenient locations to browse their fine selection of beautiful furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more for your home. Visit their original store in downtown Raton or their new store in Trinidad on Freedom Road, right next to Big R, for a personal and professional furniture shopping experience. Woody's Furniture proudly supports the student athletes and student broadcasters of this tournament. Oh, and we're back on air. I don't know if that one came through.
I hope it did, because Brody let me in on some very important information. Apparently you can, how's that go again, Brody?
You can burp a turkey.
A turkey. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, it has to do with the fact that when turkeys puff themselves out, like when male turkeys, they get all inflated and show their tail feathers, they're really just inhaling a bunch of air as part of their puffing. And so, yeah, you can burp a turkey, just squeeze them, and they let all that air out. It's fascinating. Here we have Tate Baker with his pen of a tom and hen turkey, and then Mason Riddle and Blake Olguin carrying Blake Olguin's tom and hen. This is the first year in a long time we've had turkeys, so we've got some in cages and some in hands. We're not exactly sure what the protocol is for how to show turkeys, but we're figuring it out as we go.
Again, maybe this show should be officially sponsored by the Branson Bearcat football team. All of these young men in the ring right now, members of Branson Bearcat football team, starting their season here just in a few short weeks. August 31st is the first game of the season for the Branson Bearcats. Tate Baker with the white turkeys, Mason Riddle, and Blake Olguin, all 3 of the young men in the ring. That's the Bearcat offensive line right there, folks. And each of those young men also part of the Branson Bearcat or Saddle Rock Sports Network broadcasting crew. They went on that trip to Dodge City, Kansas. And they also do a great job for us during basketball season. Bringing you lots of Kim Branson Mustang basketball. Here we got the judge looking at Tate Baker's female turkey. I guess it would be a hen.
I believe so. I think that's what you call a female turkey.
The crowning jewel of the first annual Turducken Classic. The Saddle Rock Sports Turducken Classic. Maybe that's what Saddle Rock Sports could bid on at the fair, is the ingredients for a turducken.
I see nothing wrong with that. You know, Mr. Wait a minute. The one that... I'm not sure if Tate has 2 toms, because the one that we just said was a hen just puffed himself up.
Oh, yeah. I don't think hens tend to do that.
Nope. We've had a few calls like that this week that have been misgendering our animals that are out here, but it's all good.
All right, let's hear what the judge has to say. I'm really fascinated to learn what a judge looks for in turkeys.
All right. So I always tell my 4-H kids when the moms call and they're like, hey, this is my kid's first year. We want to show a market turkey. What am I looking for? And I always like talking to the moms over the dads for one reason. Who buys your Thanksgiving turkey? It's almost always mom, right? So the question comes down to, which of these turkeys do you want to put in your oven for Thanksgiving? And you actually have a lot of really good sized turkeys here. If I had to guess, this one is probably the heaviest. That's going to be close to an 18-pound turkey, just based off of what I'm feeling. It's going to be 15 to 18 pounds when you put it in the oven. That makes it a little bit harder to cook, simply because most of us don't have a roasting pan that big. Some of us need a roasting pan that big for our large families. We just have to get 2 turkeys or cut it in half or something. Overall, the turkey that is the most ready to butcher is this bronze on the end. The turkey that will be ready right before Thanksgiving is the bronze, the second bronze in. So first place, we are going to give to the larger bronze turkey on the end. Second is going to be this white turkey here. He is overall very even, a very good turkey, just a little bit smaller and has a little bit more fat over the meat. He's not quite as muscular. Third place will be this white, and then fourth place will be the small bronze.
Market class. 4th place, Blake O'Gean. 3rd place, Tate Baker. 2nd place, Tate Baker. 1st place, Blake O'Gean.
And there we go, folks. If you didn't catch it on that last one, our first turkey show in recent memory. First place is going to go to Blake O'Gean. 2nd to Tate Baker. And then I think 3rd place went to Tate Baker, and then 4th back to Blake O'Gean. So Tate stuck there between a Blake sandwich of turkeys. a
kind of
BTS,
an Oreo?
Blake turkey sandwich.
A Blake.
Oh. Yeah, double stuffed turkey Oreo.
Turkey, the official bird of the Branson Bearcat football team.
Yeah, you know what? At this point, I would say yes.
If our market ducks can start getting ready, Dalton Dowler.
Oh, next up we got Market Ducks.
Ducks. Oh, and actually, no, we got a pair of, I think, a breeding, Tate Baker bringing in a breeding turkey. Here's a hint. I think this one is a female. I'm guessing.
I would have to say you're probably correct. I'm not sure. I have no gauge on turkey phenotypes. I don't know.
That bird, the judge is smiling and nodding, so I think she likes that bird. Always a good sign. I believe they called for Market Ducks after this. I think we'll have Will Doherty and Dalton Dahlrick.
The Battle of the Duck Boys.
Battle of the Duck Boys.
I'm sorry, that was a little silly.
Hey, you got to have fun.
All right, this very vocal hen that we have here, she's going to be first place. She is overall a very good turkey. This turkey is actually ready to butcher now. It's good size. This is about the size you want your market turkeys. Have you weighed her at home? I'm guessing she's about 15 pounds on the scale. 18? Okay, so she's going to be a good size. A little bit of a larger turkey when you go to butcher her, but she would be an overall good turkey. This is about the size of turkey I look for Thanksgiving.
And there we go. Tate Baker taking first place in his class of 1.
First place, Tate Baker.
You know, one of the folks we got to recognize and thank, there's a couple of hard-working junior superintendents that help out at every market show. And for this particular poultry show, it's Addison Terry.
Addison Walters.
Addison Walters. Her dad's name's Terry. It's Addison and Brooklyn Winter. They are handing out all sorts of fun things. That was Brock Doherty giving us a little shout out, a little bit of flavor right there. Always fun.
You know, and he's a senior. This is his last year showing anything, so I think it's fair that he cuts loose a little bit in this last show.
Will Doherty bringing out his pen of Peking ducks.
Mm-hmm. And this is your class of market ducks, and also we've got a pan brought in by Dalton Dahlrick. here's our middle part of the turducken. We went 3, 1, 2 in our order of
Preparation here, yes.
Yes, sir.
Saddle Rock Sports Turducken Classic. That's what we're just going to call this show now. As long as we have all 3 species represented, I think that should be the Turducken Classic.
I feel like that's just how you got to do it.
All right, well, we got just a moment here, folks. Want to let you know kind of our fall schedule coming up. Actually, before we move on to fall stuff, let's talk about what we're covering here the rest of this fair. Tomorrow morning, starting at 9 o'clock, is the round-robin showmanship competition. I'll just kind of let you know a little bit about that as the judge comes to look at Dalton and Will's pen of market ducks. Round robin, for those of you that aren't aware, I'm sure many of you are, is the showmanship competition. It's the contest of champions. The winners from each species showmanship contest in the senior, intermediate, and junior divisions get together, and it's a round robin competition. They'll start with their own species of animal and then progress on to another one until they have the opportunity to show each species of animal. So I believe what we'll have represented tomorrow is beef cattle, dairy cattle,
market,
swine, sheep,
buckle,
goat.
If the Dalric cattle.
Am I missing any there, Brody?
Dalric family would like to come down.
Is
A
he,
dairy goat.
Did you get horse?
Dairy goat and horse. Yes, I believe we have 7 species represented. Now, we only had 1
You're also welcome to come down.
dairy goat, and we only had 2 dairy cattle showmanship entries, so, it'll be a little bit different. It'll be a whole lot of fun. That starts at 9 a.m., and we'll have cameras covering all of those different areas. And it's a fun for us on the broadcast side of things, and we think it'll be fun for you on the viewer side of things. Getting to see kids really try some new things. And that starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tomorrow evening, the market sale, we're going to broadcast that. We had a lot of requests from viewers to see if we could do that this year. And so we said, hey, let's give it a go. Now, as we've said before, if you do happen to watch that sale online, you're not going to be able to bid on the line, sir. We don't have the capabilities for that quite yet. And that takes some pretty sophisticated and expensive software to do that properly. But you can still tune in and enjoy the show. If you do want to financially be a part of the market sale, you can come and just be present in person, or you can reach out to one of the several different buyers clubs. I know there's one from the Branson and Kim community. There's also another one from kind of the county at large, and that's just a group of people that pool their money and help purchase animals here at the sale. So you don't necessarily buy an entire full market hog. You can contribute a smaller amount to one of those buyer clubs and still be involved, and it's very appreciated. Again, that starts at 6 o'clock Saturday evening.
I will say we have a very cute solicitor coming up to us right now as Nash Comden has came up and asked for a little bit of snack money, but that's all right.
Do you want to say hi on the camera? Say hi, my name's Nash. Hi, this is Nash. Nash, how old are you?
3.
You're 3 years old?
Yeah.
Are you having fun at the fair?
Yeah. Are you?
What?
Are you guys?
Yes, we're having a lot of fun at the fair.
Yeah. Me too.
What's your favorite animal at the fair?
Beaver and dinosaur and piggy and
We have at least 2 of those 3.
And the hippos! Yay, let's hear from the
We have
judge.
4 market ducks up here. They are all very good. There's a couple of them. All of them could use a little bit more time. They're not quite ready to butcher yet. But our first place is going to be the larger of the 2 on the left. Second place will be the smaller of the two. And then third place is going to be this one, and fourth will be this one. Sorry, there's no other identifying marks. But they're all very good ducks. For ducks, we look for the length of the breast and we feel the meat because that's really what we're judging for. But they're very pretty, they're very well cared for, and they clearly have a very good life.
And there you have it, folks. Our winner of the market duck competition, Will Doherty, taking first and second with his 2, and Dalton Dahlrick with third and fourth. So well done to those 2 young gentlemen. I think next up we have our grand drive for our market poultry, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll see.
Duck, Young Drake, and third and fourth, Dalton Dowrick. First and second, William Doherty. Please give them another round of applause. If we could bring back all of our first places, we have Market Chicken Pen of 3 Broilers, Brock Doherty. We have Mason Riddle for his Market Chicken Pen of 3 Dual Purpose. Blake O'Gean, Market Turkey Young Tom. Tate Baker, Market Turkey Young Hen. And William Doherty, Market Duck Young Drake.
And it sounds like it's about time. Oh, can you hear that? I hear the revving of some engines. I hear some tires squealing. I hear the rubber hitting the pavement. Folks, it's time for the Grand Drive. Yes, sir. Here we go. We've got all of our first place entries from our last several classes. We've got Brock Doherty with his pen of 3 broilers. We've got Blake O'Gean with his Tom Turkey. Here we got Tate Baker with his turkey also brought up. We got Mason Riddle with his pen of dual-purpose birds, and Will Doherty's market ducks. Now this is a fun group of guys. This is all going to school in Branson. This is a fun crew. Lots of poultry and fun fellas currently at the competition.
All right, so the hard part about market poultry, when you are judging all of them against each other, you are quite literally judging different animals that produce meat differently against each other to find the best meat producer or meat and egg producer. So all of these are actually very good birds. And again, here's my note to come out to the auction, support these kids. They've worked very hard on these projects, and that's evident in the quality that they have brought to the show table today. Our first place, our grand champion market, is going to be the hen, the turkey hen. And our reserve champion market is going to be the pen of 3 broilers.
And there you have it, folks.
You guys all did very good. I think they want pictures.
All right. That's it. The Turducken Classic grand champion Tate Baker and his female turkey get to walk home with the buckle and the purple ribbon.
We'll say this one more time.
Reserve grand champion Brock Doherty and his pen of 3 broilers.
And I'm now helping on the superintendent side of it in my county fair, and then coming here to judge. These kids do really work very, very hard, and supporting them through the auction and supporting them by buying their animals, even if they do not go through the auction ring, is very important, and it is vital to help these kids and this program grow.
2024 Poultry, Los Angeles County Fair, Reserve Grand Champion, Brock Doherty, Grand Champion, Tate Baker. Give them a round of applause.
All right, ladies and gents. This concludes the market shows and livestock shows here at the 2024 Los Animas County Fair. We will be back in the booth tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for the round robin showmanship competition, and then again at 6 p.m. for the market sale. Brody, any closing thoughts?
No, it's been a fun day. We got to see some turducken happening today. We didn't see any turducken. Never mind. You know what I'm talking about. But it's been a fun day. Lots of fun shows, and I'm looking forward to round robin tomorrow and ultimately the sale. So yeah, it's been fun.
It should be a lot of fun. I want to again thank the Fair Board for allowing us to come in and broadcast these competitions. Thank you for all of our sponsors, both our broadcast sponsors and all the sponsors that help pull off the Los Animas County Fair. On behalf of Brody Doherty, my name is Brad here on the Saddle Rock Sports Network, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for the round robin showmanship competition. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you